choose your struggle. Nowhere is perfect. Even Europe is not perfect. America is not perfect. The struggles are different. You just have to know, can you live with that struggle, right? Coming out of that system in Europe or Switzerland, where it's just very, very organized, planned out. Being here now, I definitely learned a different side of freedom, which if I maybe would have never done that step, I would have always had this one way of living, thinking that's the way. But there's so many ways of actually living, and I'm glad I did that step to learn that there are actually many ways to live life. And it's not just the 8 to 5 job and just be worried and just work for this one future. Definitely here I have a freedom which I totally enjoy differently.
Hello Thrive family, and welcome back to another video podcast episode. If this is your first time visiting, a special welcome to you. My name is Winthrop Wellington and I am the host of On Deck with Thrive podcast, where we have meaningful discussions with people from all around the world all about Jamaica. Today we have a very special guest, a friend, a fellow Jamaican YouTuber, Miss JessicaCargill. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here. And also thank you for making quite a journey all the way from the other side of the island here to Negril.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I'm sure many of my subscribers and people watching this know you, and I think we have them to thank for this collaboration that we're doing right now.
Yeah, subscribers were saying, Jessica, you need to go to Negril, you need to get on this podcast. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure, one day this can happen. So here we are.
Yeah, and the same on my channel. There were many suggestions, like you have to reach out to Jessica, and even on my live streams, like reach out to them, reach out to Jess and make it happen, so to speak. Here we are.
Yes, nice. See, people? We're making it happen.
All right, so with that, if you can quickly introduce yourself, your background, and you have an interesting one, so I'm curious for you to share with me and then also the audience.
Yes, so my name is JessicaCargill and I am from Switzerland. Yes, so I moved from Switzerland to Jamaica 9 years ago. Yes, already time is flying. So I made that big step quite a while ago. Now I live here in Jamaica. I'm from Portland in Jamaica, and in Switzerland, I'm from the German side of Switzerland. So in Switzerland, we have the French-speaking side, the Italian, and then the German. So I'm from the German-speaking side.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you born and raised in Switzerland?
Born and raised in Switzerland.
Okay.
Yes. So my father is Jamaican and my mother is Swiss.
Okay,
Yes.
very nice. And growing up, did you spend vacations in Jamaica or any significant time?
Yes, so I would spend vacation in Jamaica, and I guess that's where my love for Jamaica came from, because coming to Jamaica for summer holidays, it was just paradise. As a child, and we're from Long Bay Beach in Portland, so it's really beach, and that's where I grew up. So it was, I don't know, I just loved the sea. And growing up, playing around, I just loved it. And I never wanted to go back. I was always, no, I don't want to go back. I was almost depressed when I had to go back to Switzerland, and it took me some time to readjust to the different lifestyle in Switzerland. And I was like, one day I stay there. But then they were like, oh, you need to finish school and you need to finish, yes, your education basically, and then you can make the decision where you want to go and stay and all these things. So that's what I did. I finished my education and I did choose tourism, because I was like, if I do maybe tourism, that's maybe something I could easily find a job in Jamaica.
I see.
That was kind of the reason why I went into tourism. And then I finished that. But then I was... I kind of started being better and better at sports. So I kind of, when I finished school, I also entered the national team in karate.
Okay.
Yes. So then all my focus was on sports and chasing medals. And then I was just in the national team for a while, and then this Jamaica plan went to the back, and also I had no funds or money. I was just like, all right, all the money went into my sport. So I was passionate about my martial arts lifestyle. That was great until I kind of slowly knew I'm going to retire from the sport. And then it started to be like, maybe now I should try this. If I can, come to Jamaica and live here and just also find out more about my Jamaican side, my Jamaican heritage, which I always was very interested in growing up. And then I did the step, basically, when I got my peak in my career, so I won the European Championship.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Also, congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
That's huge.
And then with winning that, I was like, all right, that's it. I'm stopping now. And I stopped.
And so
I used that as a career end.
I was going to ask, what initially got you into martial arts and in karate?
It's actually very by chance. So where I was living, I did a lot of sports. And at that time, I didn't do anything. But my neighbor, they were in karate class. So they were like, yeah, just join us. Because I didn't do anything that afternoon. And then I was like, yeah, So I joined them and I liked it. And that's kind of how it started. I continued joining them to go to the karate class. And then that's how it started. Yeah.
And then you just got addicted to it.
And then I got addicted to it. Yeah. It was interesting, They kind of needed somebody in the team. They needed somebody because I don't even know, that girl just couldn't make the team and they needed somebody. So they were like, Jessica. So they tried to get me somehow ready that I just can make the team to help their team for the Swiss Championship.
Yeah.
And then, I kind of liked it, and from there, I just got better and better and made the national team eventually. And then, and then traveled around the world, fighting around.
And how long were you competing at this professional level?
10 years.
10 years, wow.
Yes. Yeah. And it's very interesting. I love martial arts. Like, it still is, but definitely during my career, it was a big passion. Like, I lived for it. Actually, so then I had the World Championship before, and I finished. So I lost in semifinals, and then I became 5th. And I was so like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But then I still didn't have a title.
Right.
But I was like, I just threw away this kimono, the gi, what we wear in karate.
Right.
And I was like, I'm done with this. And my coach was like, all right, I'll give you some time. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to try this again. So that was always, our World Championship is always in November. And Europe Championships more like April, May. So I said, all right, I'm going to try this one more time, and I do the European Championship. But this time I was quitting my job before, so I could go fully preparation.
All in.
And I'm like all in or nothing. Yeah.
And
I got it.
You were successful.
I got my gold medal, yes.
European champ.
Yeah. So it always comes with sacrifice,
Of
Things
course,
come
yeah.
definitely with sacrifices. But it's you don't have a guarantee. You don't know when you do the sacrifices, but you just want it so badly that you are just ready to take those sacrifices, and you just be like, you know what? It's this, or I don't know what. Yes, and then from there I was like, I'm not going back to work now, so I'm like, let's just pack my bag and go to Jamaica. And I packed my bags and I came to Jamaica after that.
So that's when after you retired from being a professional karate artist, I don't know what you call it.
Yes, athlete, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that retirement didn't last too long because then the Jamaica kind of recruited me.
Okay.
But Jamaica at that time didn't have a federation, because I actually did wanted to fight for Jamaica for a good while, but there was no federation. And long story. Anyway, then there was a federation and for the Pan American Games.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we're like, we need to go to the qualifier, and we need a Jamaican team to go to the qualifier. We went to the qualifier to Panama. I won. I qualified for the Pan American Games for Jamaica.
Awesome.
Yes, the first athlete to qualify in karate.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you. And then I injured myself.
Oh no.
I know.
I know all about that.
ACL.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Torn?
Yes.
Complete tear. Oh man.
Horror. Anyways, because that would have then been my ticket to the Olympics
Oh wow.
if I did medal. I mean, there was more than one way to enter or qualify for the Olympics, but one way was through the Pan American Games, and the other was through point system. But that was not really for me because I couldn't travel around and do all these points.
Yeah.
So Pan Am was definitely how we had a strategy set for. But yeah, then I torn my ACL and rehab it was for a year.
Yeah.
Yes. And then COVID, hit.
Yeah.
And then that was eventually too much. Like
Okay.
rehab, and then the sponsors, nothing there.
Right,
It was
right.
hard to, because preparation definitely happens a lot overseas eventually. So I would have to travel and all of that. So that was it then.
That was the closing
I started YouTube then.
Right, it started YouTube.
Yes.
And so if we can step back a little bit,
Yeah.
what was like the decision-making process of you moving to Jamaica? And I know you were saying from when you were a little girl, you never wanted to leave and always wanted to be here, but the practicality of making that dream a reality.
Right. So I knew I probably need some funds to start it, because it was like, what are you going to do in Jamaica? What are you going to work? And I had no answers to none of those questions. I was like, well, I don't know. I just know I want to go. So I knew because I just didn't know. I never lived here. I didn't know what is possible, what is not possible. And it's hard to do a certain, to get a good idea if you're abroad, to know what is the situation, what is the work situation and all of that. So my strategy then was just to save money so that I can live a year, technically, even not working, and just find something to do, and ideally, find a work or a business or something. The other idea was also, I didn't want to, I wanted to experience Jamaica and live here while I'm young. There's this idea of, you save. I could have done that. But probably would have been smart to save and then build your house, and then, you have a house. So now I don't have a house. I don't live nowhere. I rent, So it's the other way around. And I was like, yes, maybe, that's cool, because I want to experience it while I'm young, and not necessarily when I'm retired.
Right.
So that was kind of another thing. I was like, I don't want to wait. Because the money was somewhat, if I calculate the money I would need, I was like, I'm there working till I'm 60.
Right.
And I'm like, nah. So I just said, I give myself a year. I said, other people go to travel the world for a year. And I was just like, this is my year just in Jamaica. Instead of traveling, I'll just go to Jamaica and see what I can do. And I really also always wanted to know more about Jamaica and my Jamaican heritage. Funny, Switzerland, there, you're the Jamaican. You're always the Jamaican.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. It's just funny because they look at you, you don't look Swiss, right? And so you're the Jamaican, and I have never been here. So I kind of really want to know, well, if I'm Jamaican, let me find out really. I mean, I have family, but it's just not the same if you don't live here.
Right.
And, you get to know more of the culture and all of that. So I it's almost like an identity. Like I wanted to know what is my other side, So I think that was a big drive for me, to come here and learn about Jamaica. And then that's what I did. I saved. I sold everything, my car, my apartment. I just, I didn't own it, but I left the apartment. I sold what I had, and I had my 2 suitcases. This feeling alone, everybody should experience that. So free, like so owning my own time, just like master of my time, master of like, usually always when you want to go on holiday, your boss, okay, you have to be back then, and you have to your return ticket. This time I just, when do I want to return? Not return, but maybe like I was going to America first, visiting family there, spend some time there, and everything was just open. And this was just an amazing feeling to, otherwise you're always in the system. You always, it's these 2 weeks or 3 weeks of vacation, and that's all you have. There's never enough time to just be and experience, life. So that was amazing. Me and my 2 suitcases, I went to America, visited my family, and then I was like, all right, I'm ready now. And I came to Jamaica. I made a year. I passed a year. I passed 2, 3, 4, and now I'm still here. Yeah, so after 3 years, people were like, she's not coming back. Yeah, and I still love it. I love it.
I was gonna ask, now that you live here, have you found that feeling of just being on a day-to-day basis?
What do you mean exactly?
Going back to what you said earlier about the feeling of just being and only having 2 weeks or 3 weeks of vacation. Maybe a better way of asking, like a larger sense of freedom by being here and living here.
Well, for one, is choose your struggle.
Okay.
I
like that.
It's not, nowhere is perfect. Even Europe is not perfect. America is not perfect. I don't know which country they might highlight. There is nowhere perfect. It's just different. The struggles are different. And you just have to know, can you live with that struggle, right? So coming out of that system in Europe or Switzerland, where it's just very, very organized and, planned out, and, you have insurance for everything, and you always like, you can never be really out of job. It's like job, the next job, like even before you have, like never even, if you allow yourself to have some time in between jobs, like where were you at like exact between this job and that job? And it's almost like, can I live? Can I just not have a job? And not have a job, just maybe do something but differently, right? So being here now, I definitely learned a different side of freedom, which if I maybe would have never done that step, I would have always had this one way of living, thinking that's the way. But there's so many ways of actually living, and I'm glad I did that step to learn that there are actually many ways to live life, and it's not just the 8 to 5 job and just be worried and just work for this one future, Yes, definitely. I'm not like, yes, future is important, but not all the eggs go in that future,
Right.
Just have to balance it, So definitely here I have a freedom which I totally enjoy, differently, yeah.
And what was the transition process like for you? And like, I know you've said you spent some time here growing up, but now you lived here. Now you had to make a living here.
Yeah.
You had to go about your day and figure out your lifestyle. What was that
Funny,
like?
When I was there, I was always like, oh, I'm going to be worried, like what I'm going to do, how I'm going to earn money. And I always have these worries. But then when I came, poof, like no worries ever. Even though like the savings went down but it's like doors keep opening, like opportunities are coming actually your way. So there's actually no reason to worry, you put yourself there and you put yourself out there and all right, this is what you want to do. Whatever field you are, you try to look around what you can do, so and so. I just had no worries again. These worries were just gone. I only had that over there, you know.
Yeah.
But here you just adapt to a different lifestyle, and also just to trust, trust, and things will come and things will work out. Yes, and it's been very interesting journey. I try different things, and which is typical for this lifestyle here.
Right.
Mostly, you don't have just one job. You might have 2 or 3, and then you try and you just, go along. And
what was your biggest concern before you moved here?
my biggest concern was really that I won't make it financially.
Okay.
Because there was just a saving which was very limited, right? And life out here is expensive. So if you not really know what you do or where you're going to invest, that money is just gone. Like, psh. And then yes, how you're going to earn money? How you're going to finance yourself? That was my biggest thing. Like, how can I make a living?
And were you able to overcome that concern in a short period of time since moving there? Here, I should say?
Yes. That definitely went away somewhat, because when I was here, then I tried not to go into my savings as long as possible, and I already tried to work so that I don't need it, so I have a safety thing, and that allowed me to kind of be just cool and see what the opportunities are there and so on. Those savings are gone a long time now. So now I'm working. I've been working, and this was always something. So there was no need to worry.
What was like the one thing that you were looking forward to most about moving to Jamaica?
What was I looking forward to? I was just looking forward to this island life.
Okay.
Yes, I love the culture, I love the food. I was looking forward to, for example, when I always came on vacation. So I'm from Portland, right? So you have these 2-3 weeks. There's never enough time. I have never, in all the time I came to Jamaica, I have not left the parish of Portland.
Get out of here.
I did not know nothing. Yes, because you go, you visit your grandmother, you're there, and that's it. So and then of course they be like, oh, don't go there, don't go this, don't go there. Kingston? You're not going to Kingston, So you're just there. I had a great time, but also I also did not know much of Jamaica. And I was looking forward to actually be brave and venture out in Jamaica to learn about other parishes, to visit other parishes. Because I wasn't driving most these days, so it was also a little like, how do you get there? How do you come to the grid? Like, you need a car and this and that. Anyway, but then then I eventually got a car, and then now I was independent, so I could drive to and explore actually Jamaica, and I was looking really forward to explore Jamaica.
That's so funny that you had the same, or your parents gave you the same warnings that my dad gave us. And we never, or I'll speak for myself, like I never went outside of Negril, probably, for a long time. Growing up, for sure, Dad told me, like, never go to Kingston.
Yeah.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
So my grandmother lived in Kingston when we were growing up. So we used to literally leave Negril at like 4 a.m, visit our grandmother in the day, and come back before night. That was like always. We never hung out in Kingston, never spent the night there because it was so dangerous, right? Dangerous.
Yeah.
And even now, my dad doesn't like going to Kingston, but I love Kingston. I love going there, hanging out, and it's just a different flavor from the country here in Negril.
It was so funny because eventually I then at one point moved to Kingston. And it was like, where are you going? Like, I was like, they're over there. Anyway, I made it, and I'm living, and I discovered Kingston, and Kingston is not that bad.
Right.
I learned to appreciate it because there's a lot of things coming from the countryside which no Kingston can offer you in terms of entertainment, culture, food.
Yes.
They're just other things where you would say like city life can provide, and Kingston definitely has much more going on, which I totally enjoy, especially before COVID. Like there was so much things going on in arts, in music, in even if you want to go to a movie, you know, sports. There is always some sport event, you know, a 5K or some other fitness you can do. Like so much things going on, you know. And I love fitness, so I love that, which that was a little more difficult, the countryside. So yeah, I was like, yeah, this Kingston is cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still a country baby. I love country, but of course, for work and for other things, it has been more like it has been better for me.
Yes, yes. I feel the same exact way about Kingston. And then counter to that, being here in Negril. Like I love being here. It'd be very hard for me to see myself living anywhere else in Jamaica. Yeah. At this point, I love visiting other places. I love Portland. I can. At some point, I'm going to probably spend like a month, maybe 6 weeks out there. Like I absolutely love it there. I will, and you'll probably be the first person I call. But you know, outside of that, this is probably going to be my home for quite some time. And you know, maybe you feel the same way about Portland.
Yes, definitely. But sometimes I'm like, you know, I should really try. And this is still a mission. I still want to spend more time in other parishes because you're in and out. You go to an attraction and you're out. You never really learn about. And there's so much differences I noticed, and I find it so interesting. Like I don't know. Each parish has its own vibe, has its own little culture going on, and yeah, I'm actually curious to spend more time in each parish.
Do you have a parish that you want to go to next, or sooner rather than later?
You know, I passed Lucy, and then I was like, you know, Lucy, this is so cute here. And just coming up, and I'm like, you know, I should spend some time here and see what's going on. Treasure Beach, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it there. Treasure Beach is, I mean, it's like an hour and a half from here. So it's like our little, like when I say our, me and my family's little vacation area from Negril, and we want to chill out, get our heads together and our thoughts. That's where we go.
And I love fishing, right?
Right.
So I love probably somewhere where there is also fishing possibilities. So yeah, definitely. But I must say, you know, the mountains are amazing, and I've been just discovering Jamaica like from a new angle by going on hikes, like going on more hikes. So I did the Blue Mountain Peak for New Year's Eve.
Awesome.
And then one of my goal resolution was, you know, you have to hike more. So I've been on a couple of hikes since. And I did some amazing hikes, and I'm like, whoa, Jamaica is like a hiking destination.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We went from Sincona, for example. We hiked from Newcastle to Sincona. That's the highest botanical garden in the Caribbean.
So what initially motivated you to start your YouTube channel?
Well, you know, it's very interesting. People are saying, oh, start a YouTube channel and that. But to me, YouTube was always like this thing, you know, you just hear about it. And you're like, is this really true? You know, is this really working? And I was like, what I'm going to do? Like, I don't even know what to make a YouTube about. But when actually COVID happened, and you know, just at home, no work, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Definitely, I said something has to happen online because, you know, we were restricted, so. And I was like, you know what? Let's try this YouTube thing. And I tried on my birthday. So on my birthday, that was kind of because I when I started, I still had no idea to make my channel like what about. Like I was a fitness, you know, on a fitness YouTube or something.
What year was this?
Huh?
What year was this we're talking about when you started this?
That was in 2020.
2020. Okay.
Yeah. When COVID started?
2020.
Yeah.
COVID started. Okay.
But also, all my life has been about sport all the time. That almost I was like, I'm not sure if I can stay passionate about this. Like, I wanted something different. So, and I knew maybe something like I love travel, right? I love adventures. I love highlighting Jamaica. Like, I did a lot of tour guide jobs before COVID, and also that didn't happen again. So it was almost like, maybe I can highlight with videos, and but I still felt weird to just talk into the camera
Right.
and vlog. Like, I was like, huh? So I needed something where I can put the attention somewhere else. So I went diving. So I thought that was super cool. Like, it was just about the diving, the fishes and all of that. And then we had a catch and cook on my birthday. So I used that, and I had really fun capturing that experience. And I was so happy. And I did not know how to edit a video at all. And I was like, I need to get this thing out of the camera, and how do I edit? It took me about 3 months to actually get it up on YouTube. I did not, I was like, many times I said, this is not happening. I was trying to tutorial every night, tutorial, and I got like, oh my God, I'm not getting it. Anyways, eventually I got it out. And I also wanted to show people like my birthday, so people can see what I actually did, a catch and cook, and I was very excited about it. And then I was like, yeah, I think this can work, because it's not too much on me. It's basically what I do,
Right.
and that helped me with the vlogging a little bit, and it kind of gave me a smooth transition in, because now I feel much more comfortable in vlogging.
Right.
But that helped, basically. So, and from there, I started to actually make a YouTube channel about adventures in Jamaica, highlighting the beauty of Jamaica, highlighting what most people probably would not see necessarily, even attractions. Like, we have so many waterfalls. I get that so much. I did not know there is this waterfall. I didn't know we have so many waterfalls, And I'm like, there's so many waterfalls. There's so many nice places. There's so many cultural aspects of Jamaica, which I think is just interesting for Jamaicans, because there's a lot of Jamaicans who not get to see certain sides of Jamaica either. The diaspora, and then of course people who just also love Jamaica. I also loved diving all the time, but I then also I just loved it, this spearfishing thing. Like, I followed the guys a long time just with my camera, like what they do, and then I was like, give me one time, so they're like, all right, you try, shoot. And then I tried a couple of times. They would give me the gun, and then I try, until I was like, you know what, I felt kind of bad that they always have to give me the gun, because they were there to actually work, and
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I just need my own, so I can, they can do their thing, and I'm just not there. And that's how I kind of got into spearfishing. And I love it, because I always love diving, but it's almost like, just snorkeling is boring. What I'm going to do, I need like a mission.
Right.
I need a reason to actually stay in the water. And this is everything now. It gives me a reason to stay in the water. It gives me there's just beauty diving itself. But also with the spearfishing, there's this hunting aspect. You have to, I think maybe that's the athlete in me again, having this challenge, because you have your breath hold. You have to improve your breath hold. You have to improve a lot of things. You have to understand the your environment to perform better. So, yes, so I have a lot of spearfishing content on my channel, but not only, also cooking and like attractions, but not like attractions which maybe are not that popular. Yeah.
But essentially showing, like you said, the beauty of Jamaica.
The beauty of Jamaica, yes.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And I have a great time. Like, I'm growing, like I'm learning so much. It's like video, like editing, that's total new. Photography, total new. Audio, like understanding everything. And it's almost like well, it is a skill. So I learned a new skill, and this is so like editing actually is fun. Like it's really interesting, and I'm learning along the way, and it's has been such an interesting journey, this YouTube journey, from different perspectives, from the adventure, but from capturing but from learning how to actually improve your editing. So I do everything myself. Yeah. So yeah, try. Sometimes I was like, I should have started earlier.
I know the feeling. I feel like every YouTuber says that. I wish I started earlier.
Yes.
And same with myself. It took me so long to get comfortable holding that camera and talking to the camera. I used to just hold my phone and just record myself, and I knew this would never see the light of day, but just to get comfortable and to watch game tape a little bit, go back and review. And until I got to the point where now I'm cool, but it takes time, right? It takes time and like forcing yourself, especially like in public. I was so like self-conscious, like people think I'm a weirdo.
Yes,
they're looking at me.
yes.
I'm sweating out my neck. What's going on here? But
I mean, I missed out a lot of things because I eventually was too uncomfortable. Which would have eventually been great to actually vlog right there. And I was like, all right, maybe that I got that. Like, I don't need this part. But I also watched a lot of other YouTubers and tutorials about actually vlogging and just to ignore this feeling. And so it's a process, yeah, definitely.
And where do you want to take your channel? Do you have a vision for it?
Well, yes. There's the vision definitely is I would love to grow the channel. I would love to grow also as an editor. I would love to grow like it's almost like movie making.
It is not even almost. It is like you're a filmmaker.
Right.
We are filmmakers.
It's almost like I dig this. Like this is cool. Like I was like B-rolls and learning about all these things you can actually do and every time there's something new which you might not notice as a viewer, but which maybe I put in there, like a different angle and so there's so much still to learn because so far all is self-taught, but I know there's like a ton things to do and learn. So that growth right there, I'm curious and I want to learn more about the whole filmmaking and editing. I never wanted to do a voiceover. I like my voice, my accent, my sound. And then there's so many things like, anyway, I did a TikTok and I did a voiceover and then people are like, oh yeah, you sound actually good. Well, no, they didn't say that sound. They said, I sound good. And then I was like, me sound good? And I was like, and that's a important thing. You just have to ignore yourself. You cannot take yourself too serious.
Exactly.
I was like, all right, just put it out there. So I did a voiceover on my first video and I'm like, eventually this is not that bad. So I learned about the voiceover thing and improving and now it gives me more possibility now. Because there's so much things I might not say while I'm vlogging. And now I can actually really step up the game while giving more information because now I can do research in the back end and now really sit down and say, all right, this is a good thing to put in there and there and there. So much. No, it's really interesting. But of course, every YouTuber wants to grow the subscribers and the views. We need views, people. So yeah, and I hope I can also inspire other YouTubers to really, go out there, give it a try.
Yes.
Give it a try. Reach out to people if you need help, if you need, whatever. Try.
Yeah.
Try. People are some big channels. They do it with their phone. They edit everything on their phone. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yep. Agreed.
And I actually very happy to see so many YouTubers in Jamaica. Because it's how should I say? It's not easy out here, and it gives. I love to see that so many people have a ways of making it.
Yeah.
In Jamaica, where they probably. Not everybody can reach Kingston and find a work, They can now really be wherever. And if they, just put it together, they can actually really make a living.
I agree. And it's like I would say, and you can agree or disagree with me on this, that the landscape of Jamaican YouTubers in 2020, looking back at 2022 now and looking back to 2020, 2019, like it's changed dramatically in terms of, one, the amount of Jamaican YouTubers I'm seeing, two, the variety in content in Jamaican YouTubers, what Jamaican YouTubers are putting out. And then also, I would say in the last year, I'm like finally starting to see the quality of the editing, the filmmaking in general is starting to step up, because when I first started, I was like, man, this is really bad. It's like really bad, you know. And we want to me, as like a country, we want to compete globally as YouTubers, right? And that's why I think it's so important that the collaboration aspect. I know you do a lot of collaboration with other Jamaican YouTubers, which is amazing, and I think I commend you on that, and there should be more of that. And I'm trying to do more of it myself because, one, as you talk about learning, I learned so much when I speak to other YouTubers and we connect. And then two, it's like finally somebody who understands the struggle, right? You know, it's just finally you understand how hard, like another person who understands how hard it is. And no matter like even your best friends that you talk to and your family that you talk to, they cannot understand what goes into this and what it takes, right? And so I think the more that we can uplift each other as creators in general, but then specifically creatives in Jamaica, I mean, the better we are going to be as a country, because to me, it's like, a rising tide lifts all ships, right? And then if we can get that tide where we have like a bare minimum standard of content, of the standard of content that we create, regardless of what category it is, as a whole, as Jamaica, as creatives, we're going to be great.
There's so much, because we have so much talent, we have so much creative minds, we have so much creativity, and it's just a great opportunity. And I really hope that people out there tap into this YouTube and give it a try. But as you said, it's true. Like sometimes they were like talking to other YouTubers allowed me like, okay. Oh, it's not just me. Oh, okay. Like, oh, that's how it works. Oh, like, good. And it, as you said, like being in the same boat, having the same struggles. So now I can talk to other YouTubers and vice versa, depending on which level they are and what advice I can get or give. It's just interesting. It's very interesting, and I love the opportunity it actually provides. Right.
I feel the same, and I think as a country as a whole, like for YouTubers, Jamaica, like we're kind of just getting started. We're like newborns in this, and I can only imagine where we're gonna be in 3 years or 5 years from now. And I would encourage any other Jamaican YouTubers who are out there, Jamaican YouTubers are watching it, like stick with it, like don't stop, because like I see the potential in it, and I'm not gonna stop where I am. And especially like young Jamaicans out there who are considering starting, I think they have the most potential than anything else.
It is so nice because you don't have to wait on somebody to tell you okay, do this or do that. You can be your own everything. Like you direct your video, you put what you want, you try, you learn, you grow, you learn. You have to learn, and grow on this thing with this whole YouTube. But I don't know. It's just amazing.
Is this something that you want to do full time?
I think this is a tricky question in the sense of, it has to be able to actually pay all your bills if you want to do it full time, right? Yeah. So,
do you want to grow to that point?
If I grow to that point, I've seen like drops, like it's almost like, and I keep hearing it that it can be very nice one day and then the next day it can drop. So so my thing is a little bit, do I actually always want to have one leg in a secure position so that this volatile business is not really like, okay, it's here and then the next day it's there and then what, So I haven't figured it out yet if I actually really want to go full or if I actually enjoy like a 60-40 ratio and have maybe something more secure.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And not all depending on this. This algorithm is really playing. It's playing with us. And I kind of don't like be depending on this algorithm and being, so I'm not sure. I tend more probably Yes, it kind of be maybe 60-40 or 70-30
Right.
situation. But I don't know, really. I don't know. You would have to ask me when I'm there.
Right. Yeah, I think it comes down to like stability, right? If you can figure out a way where you become less reliant on the algorithm and you can be more reliant upon the amount of work that you actually put in and what you get out of it, right? And so I guess a different way of looking at it is like, if you can do this and be fully taken care of financially, is that something that you'd want to do, where you just wake up and all you do is just make videos?
Man, absolutely, because sometimes they are content. I know they're probably not getting views, but I love it.
Yes.
I love it. But no, if I'm depending on it, then I might have to make other decisions, because now I live from it, and I kind of want to be independent and not, and not having the algorithm dictate basically my content.
I understand.
Right?
I understand.
And I think that's probably for most content creators, if we can allow and actually create what we want to create and not just about what algorithm decides to put out. But again, if you're now full time and you need to pay your bills, then it's going to be a hard decision, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a journey, man.
No, it definitely is. Definitely is.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite type of content that you like to create on your channel?
My favorite is spearfishing. Like, I enjoy that so much. I love catch and cook. Oh my God. I'm just happiest when I can join the guys on their spearfishing mission and, tag along. And then we do a catch and cook. That's my absolute favorite. Yes.
Okay. All right. No, good to know. Because I always think, yep.
I would do only spearfishing if I would actually live by the sea. But I'm in Kingston. So I would just do that, like straight. But I cannot. So I'm not always there. So I need to actually do other stuff too. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, fair enough. And so, like, I really enjoy your channel. And it's because of the adventures. Like, that's what initially drew me to what you were doing on your channel, and I learned so much about these different places. And like, even earlier today when we were discussing like things that we can do while you're here and collaborate, like you've done many of the things already, because you've seen so many places in Jamaica. So I feel like I need to catch up in that sense and get on this and do a little bit exploring myself. But I think, like you said, like you have these ambitions to inspire other YouTubers and inspire Jamaicans to travel and see the island, which I think is pretty awesome. And so with that, I do want people, my subscribers who haven't been to your channel, to go over there and check it out. So if you would, can you just give us all your socials so we can go over there?
Yes. So my YouTube name is JessicaCargill. So that's my name, JessicaCargill. And if you enter that into YouTube, you will find my channel. So on Instagram, it's Chessie Karate. And if you followed this podcast, so karate was my passion before. So that's where this name coming from. So it's Chessie Karate. Maybe I should change it to Chessie Mermaid, but changing names on Instagram is not that easy. So it's Chessie Karate on Instagram and on Twitter, and on Facebook, it's JessicaCargill. Yes. But if you actually find my YouTube channel, all the socials are in the About section. So you can just go there and it's all there.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah.
So I think this was an awesome conversation. I learned so much about you that I didn't know. And again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking a long drive out here to the grill.
Yes, thanks for having me again. As you said, I love actually really doing collaborations, and I love meeting people, and it's so interesting. And I've learned so much about the YouTubers, like the aspect of YouTube, then the adventure itself, then the area itself, and it's really, even when we're talking, like the back of the YouTube and what's possible and what we can do, it's very inspiring. So yeah.